Chloe Morales was a young woman whose dreams soared far beyond the confines of her modest life. At just 25 years old, she worked relentlessly at Ruby's Corner, a small, time-worn diner tucked away in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. The faded peeling paint on the walls and the flickering neon "open" sign outside were reflections of the daily hardships she faced. Yet despite the long, arduous shifts and the modest wages that scarcely paid her bills, Chloe always managed to smile. She possessed an extraordinary gift. Not only could she serve a hot meal or refill a coffee cup, but she also had an uncanny ability to make every customer feel seen and genuinely valued. More than her professional skills, it was her generous spirit that made her stand out. Every night after closing time, without fail, Chloe would gather the leftover food from Ruby's Corner and distribute it to the homeless individuals she encountered on her walk home. It was a small, almost imperceptible act of kindness, one that, to those who were struggling, meant the world. To Chloe, these nightly ritual acts were not just a way to fight hunger, they were a quiet defiance against a world that often overlooked the downtrodden. One bitterly cold evening, as a steady rain pounded the streets of Los Angeles, Chloe hurried along the sidewalk, clutching her well-worn jacket tightly around her slender frame. The city's lights blurred through the watery haze as puddles formed at her feet, each reflecting the neon glow of Ruby's Corner. Just as she rounded a corner near a bus stop, she noticed a small, shivering figure huddled beneath a battered shelter. It was a young boy, no older than 8, with clothes clinging to his slight frame, completely soaked by the relentless downpour. His eyes were wide and frightened, and his tiny shoulders trembled with cold. Chloe's heart tightened at the sight. Dropping to her knees, she gently said, "Hey there, are you okay? Where are your parents?" The boy's pale face lifted slowly, his voice barely a whisper as he replied, "I don't have anyone. I'm hungry." In that moment, without a second thought, Chloe reached out, took his small hand in hers, and led him back into the sanctuary of the diner. Despite the rain that continued to drench them both, Chloe's concern overrode every discomfort. Once inside Ruby's Corner, the comforting warmth enveloped them as she wrapped the shivering child in a worn but thick blanket and promptly served him a steaming bowl of soup. As the rich aroma of the broth filled the small booth, the boy's eyes brightened and a timid smile broke through his fear. For the first time that night, Chloe felt a deep internal warmth, a glow that dispelled the cold that had haunted her journey. What Chloe did not know, however, was that her compassionate deed was being observed from afar. Across the street, parked under a street lamp that flickered against the rain, a sleek black car sat silently. Inside the vehicle, behind tinted windows, was Elliot Stone, a billionaire known for his razor-sharp business mind and notoriously private nature. Elliot had been driving through Los Angeles after a particularly grueling day, seeking refuge in the quiet, empty streets, when he saw her. At first, it was mere curiosity. Why was a young waitress, soaked by the rain, kneeling beside a homeless child? But as he watched, Elliot's curiosity deepened into something more profound. He saw Chloe gently take the boy's hand and guide him safely into Ruby's Corner, her every movement exuding genuine kindness and selflessness. His heart, hardened by years of corporate battles and loneliness, stirred with a long-forgotten sense of wonder and admiration. "Who is she?" he murmured softly to himself. In that moment, Elliot scribbled down the name Ruby's Corner on a notepad and, with one last lingering glance, drove away. Yet the image of Chloe's unyielding compassion remained etched in his mind long after he returned to the opulence of his penthouse. In the days that followed, Chloe's life was a whirlwind of activity, balancing double shifts at Ruby's Corner with the responsibility of supporting her younger brother, whose school fees often consumed a large part of her meager earnings. She scarcely had time to pause. Still, the memory of that frightened boy's smile mingled with the glow of gratitude in his eyes stayed with her. It was a small beacon of hope that pushed her to persevere through exhaustion and hardships. Meanwhile, Elliot Stone found that he couldn't stop thinking about the waitress he had seen in the rain. Despite possessing every material comfort the world could offer, he was profoundly moved by the purity of her heart, the way she selflessly offered warmth and sustenance to someone in need. In his high-rise office overlooking the sprawling city, Elliot's mind replayed the scene repeatedly, until he finally resolved that he must know more about this extraordinary young woman. One fateful evening, after an especially long day at work, Elliot made a decision that would alter the course of both their lives. Dressed in a meticulously tailored suit that starkly contrasted with the humble ambience of a diner, he stepped out of his sleek black car and walked toward Ruby's Corner. The bell above the door jingled softly as he entered, drawing the attention of everyone inside. At that moment, Chloe was busy balancing a tray laden with plates, her dark hair, slightly frizzy from the humid Los Angeles air, framing a face that radiated warmth despite the exhaustion etched in her eyes. When she noticed the sharply dressed stranger, she offered him her customary friendly smile. "Welcome to Ruby's Corner. Please, have a seat, wherever you'd like," she said in a cheerful tone that belied the weariness of her long day. Elliot chose a quiet corner booth, his keen eyes never leaving Chloe's graceful movements as she flitted between tables. He watched with admiration as she treated every customer with the same blend of genuine care and professional courtesy that he had witnessed on that rainy night. Whether she was helping an elderly gentleman count out change, offering a free coffee refill to a distraught mother, or pausing to chat with a regular who seemed unusually quiet, each interaction affirmed his belief that Chloe was truly extraordinary. After enjoying his meal, Elliot discreetly slipped an envelope beneath his plate as he prepared to leave. It was only later, when clearing the table, that Chloe noticed the envelope resting inconspicuously under the bill. Inside, her trembling fingers revealed not only a generous tip, a stack of crisp bills that far exceeded anything one might expect, but also a neatly folded note. In elegant handwriting, the note read, "Your kindness has inspired me. Use this to create the future you deserve." A grateful stranger. Shock, wonder, and a cascade of questions flooded her mind. Who could have been moved enough by her simple act of compassion to offer such an extraordinary gift? Without a moment's delay, she rushed outside, scanning the rain-soaked street for any sign of the mysterious benefactor. Yet the sleek black car was nowhere to be seen, leaving her with nothing but the enigmatic note and an aching curiosity. As days turned into weeks, Chloe's life began to shift in unexpected ways. With the unexpected windfall in hand, she was finally able to pay off her mounting debts and, more importantly, began to save for a dream she had long harbored: opening a small café, a haven where everyone, regardless of their circumstances, could find a warm meal and a welcoming smile. Each dollar saved was a step closer to creating a space that would reflect the compassion and generosity she embodied. Yet even amid this newfound hope, Chloe could not shake the lingering questions about the identity of the generous stranger whose gift had so profoundly changed her life. Then, one crisp morning, as she made her way home from the diner, fate intervened yet again. A sleek black car pulled up alongside her on a bustling Los Angeles street. The window rolled down smoothly, and standing there was the same enigmatic figure whose generosity had set her life on a new course. "I hoped I'd find you again," the man said warmly, his eyes filled with a mixture of determination and kindness. Chloe stopped in her tracks, her heart pounding rapidly. "You again?" she managed, her voice a blend of surprise and cautious curiosity. "Why did you give me that money? Who are you?" The man stepped out of the car, his presence exuding a calm authority that seemed to bridge the gap between two very different worlds. "I owe you an explanation," he replied gently. "My name is Elliot Stone, and I am the CEO of Stone Enterprises." His words struck Chloe like a bolt of lightning. Stone Enterprises was renowned as one of the largest companies in the country, and Elliot Stone himself was a well-known billionaire. "I didn't reveal my identity on that rainy night because I wanted to see how you would react on your own merit," he continued. "I have spent years building wealth, yet I've never witnessed someone as selfless as you. Helping that homeless boy wasn't merely an act of kindness. It was a testament to your character." Elliot's eyes, both serious and kind, held hers as he reached into the inner pocket of his suit and produced a second envelope. "This," he said softly, "is a deed to a small, charming cafe located downtown. It's yours now. Consider it an investment in someone who truly deserves a chance to shine." Tears welled in Chloe's eyes as she clutched the envelope to her chest. Overwhelmed by emotion, she tried to refuse, but Elliot's firm yet gentle insistence left her with no choice. "Promise me one thing," he urged quietly, "that you'll continue being the light that inspires others. Keep helping people, no matter how hard life gets. With that, he turned and walked back to his car, leaving Chloe standing in the cool morning air, her mind awhirl with gratitude and an almost unshakable curiosity. In the weeks that followed, Chloe's world transformed in ways she had never dreamed possible. The unexpected gift allowed her to pay off her debts, secure a modest savings fund, and, most importantly, begin laying the groundwork for her lifelong dream. Slowly but surely, she started to turn that dream into reality by planning every detail of her very own cafe. This new venture was to be more than just a business. It was to be a warm haven, a community center where everyone, from the struggling worker to the homeless, could come together for a nourishing meal and a moment of respite. Every spare minute she had was devoted to researching locations, designing menus, and envisioning a space that embodied the very spirit of kindness and community that had always defined her. Yet even as she set these plans in motion, the mystery of Elliot Stone continued to hover in the back of her mind. Who was this man who had chosen to invest in her future with such a generous act? Was it simply that he recognized a spark in her that others had overlooked? Or was there something more to his interest? Every time she encountered a new challenge at work or took a moment to help someone in need, she couldn't help but think of that rainy night and the way a single act of compassion had led to so many unexpected blessings. One day, as Chloe was leaving the diner after a long and tiring shift, she found herself walking briskly through the bustling streets of downtown Los Angeles, her thoughts filled with plans for the future. Suddenly, a sleek black car pulled up beside her and the window rolled down once more. Standing in the doorway under the halo of a street lamp was Elliot Stone, his presence as commanding as it was kind. "I'm glad I found you again," he said, his voice gentle yet insistent. Chloe's heart skipped a beat as she halted, unable to hide the surprise that washed over her. "You again?" she whispered. "Why did you give me that money? Who are you, really?" Elliot's eyes softened as he stepped closer. "My name is Elliot Stone," he repeated calmly. "I'm the CEO of Stone Enterprises. I wanted to see how you would respond when kindness was offered without expectation. I saw your genuine care for someone who had nothing, and that moment spoke volumes about who you are." He paused, letting his words sink in. "I've built a career on numbers and deals, but what I truly needed to see was that people like you, people with a pure, giving heart, are the ones who can change the world." With deliberate care, Elliot reached into his suit and pulled out yet another envelope. "This is not just a token. It's a deed to a small cafe located downtown. It's yours. An investment in your future and in the promise you hold." Chloe's eyes brimmed with tears as she accepted the envelope. "Please promise me you'll keep being the person who inspires others," Elliot said softly, his tone earnest and unwavering. "Never stop helping, even when it seems like the world is against you." Although she was overwhelmed by the magnitude of his generosity, Chloe managed a nod of quiet determination. Over the ensuing months, with Elliot Stone's generous support propelling her forward, Chloe transformed her life in ways that felt almost miraculous. Every dollar from the unexpected gift was carefully allocated. Debts were cleared, savings were bolstered, and plans for her new cafe were set into motion. Slowly but steadily, she began renovating a modest space in a busy corner of downtown Los Angeles, turning it into a warm, inviting cafe that would serve not only as a business venture, but as a sanctuary for anyone in need. Every detail was imbued with her personal touch. Cozy lighting, welcoming decor, and a menu crafted with love and care. As the cafe began to take shape, so too did Chloe's reputation in the community. Word spread quickly of the once struggling waitress who had risen above her circumstances to build a haven of hope and generosity. Regular patrons, some of whom had once felt invisible in the relentless pace of the city, now found solace and joy in the simple pleasure of a hot meal served with genuine warmth. Homeless individuals and those down on their luck were welcomed with dignity and kindness, their presence a living testament to Chloe's belief that every life mattered. Yet, even as success and recognition began to fill her days, Chloe never forgot the origins of her journey. Late at night, when the new cafe was quiet and the only sound was the gentle hum of the city outside, she would sit by a window and reflect on that fateful rainy evening. The memory of the small boy huddled under a bus stop shelter, the rush of cold rain on her skin, and the tender warmth that had blossomed in her heart when she had helped him. That memory, along with the mysterious generosity of a man named Elliot Stone, fueled her passion for continuing to help others. It was a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness could ripple outwards and change the world. One crisp autumn evening, as the golden light of the setting sun bathed the city in a warm glow, Chloe was closing up the cafe after an especially busy day. The air was cool and the streets were quieter now, the chaos of the day giving way to a calm that only twilight could bring. As she locked the front door and stepped outside, she felt the familiar tug of curiosity about the mysterious benefactor. Sorry, was Elliot Stone still watching over her? Would she ever learn more about the man whose selfless act had changed her destiny? Lost in thought, she almost didn't notice the sleek black car pulling up beside her along a quiet avenue. The window rolled down slowly, and there, illuminated by the soft glow of a street lamp, stood Elliot Stone once more. His presence was both unexpected and comforting, a reminder that fate sometimes had a way of returning when it was most needed. "I hoped I'd find you again," Elliot said, his voice a blend of warmth and quiet assurance. Chloe's heart pounded as she took in his familiar features, the calm determination in his eyes and the gentle kindness in his smile. "You again," she murmured, her voice trembling with both surprise and gratitude. "Where did you give me that money? Who are you, really?" Elliot stepped closer, his expression earnest and sincere. "My name is Elliot Stone," he repeated softly. "I'm the CEO of Stone Enterprises, and I've been watching your journey with admiration. I saw how you cared for a homeless child on that rainy night, and it spoke to me in a way that numbers and boardroom deals never could. I wanted to give you an opportunity, a chance to build the future you've always dreamed of, one where your kindness can continue to transform lives." He reached into his suit jacket and withdrew a final envelope, pressing it gently into Chloe's hand. "This," he said, "is a deed to a small cafe downtown. I want you to have it, as an investment in your future and as a symbol of my belief in you. Promise me you'll keep inspiring others, that you'll never stop helping those who need it most." Overwhelmed, Chloe's eyes welled with tears as she clutched the envelope tightly. In that moment, the quiet generosity of Elliot Stone and the warmth of her own compassion converged to create a turning point in her life. The gift not only allowed her to pay off her debts and secure her future, but also enabled her to launch the cafe that she had always envisioned, a place where everyone, regardless of their background, could find nourishment, comfort, and a sense of belonging. In the months that followed, the transformation of Chloe's life was nothing short of remarkable. With painstaking care, she renovated a small, neglected space in downtown Los Angeles, turning it into a cozy cafe that soon became a cherished community haven. Every morning, as the sun rose over the sprawling cityscape, Chloe would open the doors with a smile, greeting her customers by name and sharing stories of hope and perseverance. The cafe's walls were adorned with handwritten notes of gratitude from patrons whose lives had been touched by her kindness, and every corner exuded the warmth and generosity that had defined her journey from the beginning. Regulars who once trudged through the busy streets, feeling invisible amid the chaos of city life, now found solace in the inviting atmosphere of the cafe. Even those who had experienced homelessness or struggled through hardships were treated with dignity and respect. Chloe's dedication to her community was evident in every carefully prepared meal, every shared smile, and every moment spent listening to the stories of those who walked through her door. It was a living testament to the belief that even the smallest acts of kindness could create ripples of change that reached far beyond what the eye could see. Despite the many successes and the growing buzz about her cafe, Chloe's thoughts frequently wandered back to that mysterious night. The rainy evening when a simple act of compassion led to an extraordinary gift, and ultimately to a life transformed. Though she was now a successful entrepreneur with a flourishing business, she never lost sight of the humble beginnings that had shaped her. Late at night, when the cafe was quiet and the only sound was the soft hum of the city, she would sit by the window and remember the shivering boy under the bus shelter, the way the rain had drenched her, and the tender hope that had sparked inside her heart. These memories, interwoven with the mystery of Elliot Stone's generosity, served as a constant reminder that every small gesture of kindness could lead to unimaginable opportunities. Then, one chilly winter evening, when the Los Angeles sky was filled with a blend of deep blues and soft grays. Fate chose to bring clarity to the mystery. As Chloe was locking up the cafe after a long day of serving her loyal customers, she heard the familiar purr of an engine outside. Stepping into the cool night air, she looked up to see a sleek black car parked by the curb, its headlights casting long shadows on the pavement. The window rolled down slowly, and there, standing beneath the glow of a solitary street lamp, was Elliot Stone. His presence was as commanding as it was gentle, and his eyes held a warmth that contrasted with the chill in the air. "I hoped I'd find you again," he said, his tone soft yet resolute. Chloe's heart leapt as she recognized him instantly, the kind, thoughtful man whose unexpected generosity had changed her life. "You again," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, filled with both wonder and gratitude. "Why did you give me that money? Who are you, really?" Elliot's gaze was steady as he replied, "My name is Elliot Stone, and I am the CEO of Stone Enterprises. I wanted to see how you would respond to kindness offered without expectation. I saw you caring for that homeless boy on a stormy night, and in that moment I knew that someone with a heart like yours deserved every opportunity to succeed." He paused, his eyes softening. "I built my wealth through hard work and relentless ambition, but true success, the kind that fills the soul, is measured by compassion. That is why I chose to invest in you, to help you create the future you deserve." With deliberate care, Elliot extended a final envelope toward her. "This is a deed to a small cafe downtown," he explained. "A space that I hope will become a haven for those in need. A place where your kindness can continue to shine and transform lives. Please, promise me that you will never stop helping others, that you will keep being the inspiration you already are." Overwhelmed by his sincerity and the magnitude of his gift, Chloe's eyes filled with tears. She accepted the envelope with trembling hands, feeling as if every hardship she had endured was being repaid by this singular moment of unexpected grace. With Elliot's investment, she set about turning her long-held dream into reality. Every obstacle she had once faced seemed to melt away as she poured her heart and soul into renovating a small, neglected space in downtown Los Angeles. With each stroke of paint and every carefully chosen piece of furniture, the cafe began to emerge as a warm, inviting refuge, an embodiment of the hope and generosity that had always defined her. Soon, the cafe blossomed into a beloved community hub. Regular customers, many of whom had once felt lost in the sprawling metropolis, now came to enjoy not only the delicious food and aromatic coffee, but also the sense of belonging that radiated from every corner of the space. The cafe's walls were decorated with handwritten messages of thanks from patrons whose lives had been changed by Chloe's kindness, and the overall atmosphere was one of quiet joy and deep human connection. One day when Ocean was, even those who had once wandered the streets with nothing to their name found solace within its welcoming embrace. Yet, despite the outward success of her new venture, Chloe often found herself reflecting on that rainy night and the mysterious man who had first set her on this remarkable path. Who was Elliot Stone truly? What had compelled him, a billionaire with every luxury imaginable, to risk his reputation and wealth on a single act of generosity? Though her curiosity sometimes tugged at her heart, she learned to trust that some mysteries were meant to remain just that. Instead, she chose to focus on the future, on the community she was building, and on the endless possibilities that lay ahead. In time, Ruby's Corner, the diner where her journey had begun, became a cherished memory, a stepping stone that had led her to a brighter, more hopeful future. The cafe she had created was more than just a business. It was a testament to the power of kindness, a beacon of hope for those who had once felt forgotten. Every day, as she greeted customers with her radiant smile and genuine care, Chloe was reminded that even the smallest acts of compassion could have far-reaching effects. Her journey from a humble waitress to a successful entrepreneur was proof that dreams, no matter how big or small, could come true if one dared to believe and to act. One brisk afternoon, as the sun cast long shadows across the busy streets of Los Angeles, Chloe took a moment to sit by the window of her cafe and reflect on all that had transpired. She remembered the cold rain, the shivering boy under the bus shelter, the envelope filled with crisp bills, and the gentle, unwavering eyes of Elliot Stone. In those recollections, she found not only gratitude, but also a deep resolve, to keep pushing forward. The cafe was now her sanctuary, a place where every meal served and every smile shared was a quiet rebellion against a world that had once tried to hold her back. Chloe's story had spread throughout the neighborhood and even beyond, capturing the hearts of people from all walks of life. Local newspapers featured her journey and social media buzzed with hashtags celebrating her resilience and generosity. Chloe Morales, kindness in action, and dreams do come true became rallying cries for those who believed in the power of compassion. Messages of thanks and admiration poured in from young and old alike. People who saw in her story a reminder that even in a sprawling, indifferent city, a single act of kindness could change lives. Despite the many accolades and the growing recognition, Chloe remained as humble as ever. Every day she made it a point to personally greet each customer, to listen attentively to their stories, and to offer a word of encouragement to anyone in need. She continued to honor her nightly ritual of sharing leftover food with the homeless, a practice that had become the cornerstone of her identity. And as she built her cafe into a thriving community hub, she made sure that the space was accessible to everyone, regardless of their background or financial means. Whether it was a hot meal on a cold day or a comforting smile in times of despair, Chloe ensured that her cafe was a refuge, a place where every person was treated with dignity and respect. In the quiet moments after closing time, when the last customer had left and the soft hum of the city seeped through the windows, Chloe would sit at a small table by the counter, a cup of coffee warming her hands, and think back to that transformative night. The memory of the young boy's timid smile, mingled with the enigmatic generosity of a man named Elliot Stone, served as a constant reminder of the ripple effect of kindness. It was as if the universe had conspired to show her that even in the harshest of circumstances, hope could be found and shared. And though she never learned every detail about Elliot Stone or the motivations behind his remarkable gift, Chloe came to understand that sometimes the most important things in life are not meant to be fully explained. Instead, they are felt, in the quiet beating of one's heart, in the warmth of a shared smile, in the way that one person's kindness can spark a change that echoes far beyond what the eye can see. Today, as the sun dips below the horizon and the soft glow of the cafe's lights spills onto the busy Los Angeles streets, Chloe Morales stands as living proof that true success is measured not in wealth or status, but in the capacity to uplift others. Her journey from the humble confines of a rundown diner to the bright promise of a community cafe serves as an enduring testament to the transformative power of compassion. Every warm meal served, every caring gesture extended, is a reminder that even the simplest act of kindness can alter the course of a life. Chloe's legacy is built not only on financial success, but on the lives she has touched along the way. Regular customers, once strangers in the anonymity of a great city, have become part of a close, knit community where every individual matters. Homeless passers-by who once wandered unnoticed now find comfort and dignity within the welcoming walls of her cafe. And every time someone stops to share a grateful smile or a heartfelt thank you, Chloe is reminded that her dreams were never as big as the potential for kindness in the world. In the end, the story of Chloe Morales is a powerful reminder that one person's compassion can spark a revolution of hope. It is a narrative that defies the odds, a story of dreams nurtured against all adversity, of kindness overcoming hardship, and of the belief that every individual has the power to change the world, one small act at a time. As she continues to build her cafe and reach out to those in need, Chloe carries with her the lessons of that rainy night, that true wealth is not counted in dollars, but in the love and care we share with others, and that every act of selflessness plants the seeds for a brighter future. And so, under the vast Los Angeles sky, where the city never truly sleeps and every corner holds the promise of a new beginning, Chloe Morales works tirelessly, guided by the memories of her past and the hope of a future she is determined to create. Her journey is far from over. Each day brings new challenges and opportunities, and with every obstacle she overcomes, she reaffirms her belief that kindness is the most powerful force in the world. For in the quiet moments between busy shifts, and in the shared glances of gratitude from those she helps, Chloe finds that the light of compassion can indeed dispel even the darkest of storms. Her story, one of resilience and quiet heroism, continues to inspire countless others who see in her life a reflection of their own struggles and dreams. It is a reminder that no matter how small or humble one's beginnings may be, every act of kindness has the potential to ignite a spark that can grow into something magnificent. A movement of change that transforms communities and redefines what it means to truly live. And as the night falls over Los Angeles, with the gentle murmur of the city in the background and the soft clink of dishes being washed in the cafe's kitchen, Chloe Morales stands as a beacon of hope, a living example that even the simplest gestures can change the world. In every warm smile she offers, every plate of food she serves with love, and every door she opens to those in need, Chloe proves that dreams, no matter how big, are meant to be shared. And though her journey has been marked by hardship, it has also been illuminated by the countless moments of unexpected generosity, moments that remind her, and all who know her story, that compassion is a gift that can transform lives. With her heart as her guide and kindness as her compass, Chloe Morales continues to build a future where every person, regardless of their circumstances, can find a place to call home. A future defined not by the struggles we face, but by the love we share.